Hey everybody, I wasn't gonna make another video today, but then I had the great fortune actually to take a bath with the December 22nd issue of the New Yorker. As one does. If you are a coastal elite, if you're a coastal elite, you're gonna probably read the New Yorker. What are you, some kind of effeminate nerdy dude? I'm gonna kick your butt, kick your butt, kick your butt. Go ahead, try it, try it. This song is called Reading the New Yorker in the Bathtub. I was getting a little bit gamey. So I was reading that there magazine. I think it's 100-year anniversary of the New Yorker, everybody. But you knew that. If you watch any of my shit, you knew that. And I don't want to be elitist and all that shit, but this is what this is about, man. It's about making connections. An educated person. I don't mean fucking Ivy. I don't mean none of that shit, man. I mean someone with motherfucking library card. That's all you need, man. You got that library card. It's a library card to the universe. It's called your phone in your pocket. Nope. And no excuse for ignorance, man. None. That's what graduate school. So I was going to circle back around to graduate school. Methods, materials, man. Citations. Being extremely scrupulous with the truth. I don't fit in here, man. Because I believe in the truth, man. So anyways, this cat, his name is Andrew Martin. Fiction writer. I assume he probably teaches creative writing too. He blew my mind. He blew my mind. There, 15 minutes ago in the bathtub. I'm all red from it still. How, you may ask, how did this fella here that I'm jealous of, because I never had no story printed in no New Yorker or nothing else probably. Poetry, yes though. Andrew Martin, Mr. Big Pants, he wrote this wonderful fucking short story about COVID. Okay, so there I am in my bathtub trying to get all steamy and shit with myself, right? As one does. With my little old lady glasses on, my readers. Anyways, so I'm in there, and I always read. That's what I do. Is I read that week's. The New Yorker comes out every week, right? You know that though. And I always read the short story in the bathtub because that's like the perfect amount of time. You know, it's like. I don't know. It's probably like a half hour. It takes. I'm a slow reader though, right? It's like 5 pages of this. Anyways, I'm a slow reader, and because I fucking eat every word. I suck on every word. I tongue it every fucking word, especially the scrumptious ones. Scrumptious being one. Scrumptious, delicious, scrumptious, knock it off right now, because we're talking something serious. So what I was saying was, when I was in community college here in the Bay Area, well, I ended up teaching out after because I knew everybody on the hiring committee. and to be honest, they thought I had talent in doing something, man. I don't know what. Like drinking beer at Mankus Corners. That's what they thought. So these beautiful people who I love, and one of them I really love, and he left us way too soon. His name was Quentin Duvall, Sacramento poet, laureate, wonderful fucking man. He was like a mean, like a mean big brother to me, Quentin. Because you know why he was mean? Because he'd tell me the truth, and goddamn, sometimes I hate the fucking truth. And I just told you I love the truth, right? Not when it's about a horrible, yours truly. But he said, Quentin Duvall said to me, I think it was in 2000, going through divorce, getting drunk, pissing off all my best friends, being a fucking dick to everybody, except probably Quentin. But everybody else got my treatment, right? Because I had my best friend who I shit on, he published a book of mine. And no one read that book except my mom and my aunt and uncle. but I did some little readings and stuff, and all that shit went to my fucking head, man. I was such a fucking dick, man. and a nobody writer with a nothing book and big old fucking ego the size of the Taj motherfucking Hall. Anyways, that's not what this is about. This is about laying in hot water. Figurative, so I'm laying in that hot water, and I'm like digging on this cat, because he's writing about COVID, right? And I don't know if you guys remember COVID. Do you remember that little thing? It started with the letter C, a big old C, and it ended in a letter D. Yes, that one. That gosh darn. So, this wonderful writer, name of Andrew Martin, in the December 22nd, 2025, New Yorker magazine. He wrote, it's really funny as hell too. But he's writing about getting engaged and getting engaged with his wife, who's a like emergency room doctor or an epidemiologist, whatever, during COVID. I guess, were they popular at the old cocktail parties during COVID? No. This poor guy, but see, he's the artist, he's the writer, right? And his wife is the, he is what Robert Persig and Zen and the Art, Motorcycle Maintenance, we call a classical thinker. His wife, the doctor, is the classical thinker, and he's the romantic thinker, right? The poet, right? And so you got the square wife, the doctor wife, and then the creative writing guy. So they're thinking about getting married or something like that. They're getting married, and they're just, COVID is killing everybody. Both figuratively, literally, and all other ways. So he was teaching. This is what got me, okay? He said, the classes I taught, I'm assuming this is, and maybe Harvard, who knows, creative writing class. He's such a good writer, right? The classes I taught weren't helping with my despair, my little window in the corner of the screen, one of them Zoom screens, I added that, not him, but for clarification's sake, looked like a lesser Morandi painting. The blobby brown bottle of me against the thick beige background. I always looked farther away than the people I was talking to. Filling the screen with my gigantic face did not improve matters. It was a hard time for knowing whether one was experiencing a psychiatric event or responding normally to what was happening, right? Remember that during COVID? You're like, am I supposed to be crazier or saner or doing 360s in my underwear? What the fuck am I supposed to be doing, right? So anyways, he goes on. This story's brilliant. And in fact, I didn't even finish it because I got so inspired, and that's what this is about. This is about that feeling of excitement when you're learning something. That when I was at Solana Community College as an undergrad, I had the best history of Western civilization teacher. And up to then, I was a kid, I was a troubled kid in high school. I had a lot of problems, and I got straight Fs except for drama and English. They let me graduate Benicia High class 85. I don't know why they let me graduate, because I didn't know shit. I learned how to roll a joint by then, though. And I could open a bottle of beer with my lighter. Shit. So here I am. I want you to imagine this, folks. It's a COVID. I know you can imagine that. Now imagine this. Imagine you are, you just got your own SDC, your special day class. And at the time, we called my population of students moderate to severe. And most of my students were nonverbal, minimal, and a few of them were intellectually disabled as well. And you're probably saying, well, being autistic means no, but just not bright, because many of my autistic students are way smarter than you or me, way smarter. Too smart, sadly. So, anyways, here I am. I'm excited. I just start, right? And then COVID, right? And I said to the principal at the middle school where I had my SDC, I said, so did I just lose my job? Because how are you going to teach creative writing, or not creative writing, special ed, whatever? You know, I was a babysitter, me and my lovely para, little D. So little D and me, we were the mom and dad to about eight kids, regular kids, and one of those kids, Jason, just the most beautiful, adorable little kid. And Jason would sit there like this, looking at his cuticles, you know, and he would close his eyes like he was praying, and he was just the most angelic little face. And one day I had a beat up guitar that I kept there that I was going to donate to the music program because I couldn't use it anymore. So before I gave it to the music teacher, I put it, Jason was sitting there, you know. Jason was sitting there, I'd never heard a word. And I took the guitar and I placed it near his legs, he was sitting down, like a steel, you know, like a slide guitar, right? I put it on his lap. And then for the first time, I think I saw Jason, his eyes light up. And then he started strumming. And when his mom came at the end of the day to pick him up, I said, look at Jason. She couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe that he was out of that channel, you know, that channel that some of our kids get into, right? And they STEM or whatever. But Jason got out of it. There was some fresh cognitating. I'm not a special ed teacher, okay? I got suckered into it because I love kids, right? And they needed somebody because Oakland and it's sped here. It's really hard. It's a beautiful. Everyone who does it believes it, loves it. But it's so hard. It's resource-wise. It's really. Anyways, I don't know why I'm going on about that, but that connection thing, right? So now I can't put a guitar in Jason's hand, right? And so I found myself staring at a student. We'd log into, you know, a Zoom, like a 20-minute check-in. Really, that's what it was. Because, you know, your job, a teacher, I don't know if you know this, but you're a special ed teacher, but you're called a case manager, right? Or case worker. But it's like a social worker, right? And I was, you know, later I would drive, make deliveries in some rather unsavory parts of East Oakland. No offense, yeah, you know I love you guys. And anyway, so how was I going to reach kids like Jason, you know, on lockdown? I couldn't. And what I did was, because I am and I was an alcoholic, what I did was, instead of waiting till I got home at 3:30, 4 o'clock from school, I would just, oh look, it's some clock somewhere. That's irrelevant. Vodka and orange juice, they call it something, but they should call it something else. If you get that joke, you got cirrhosis too. So here it was, right? So I was just getting sauced, man. I'm doing my fucking It's COVID. The world's fucking ending. Give me a break, man. Cut me some slack, Jack. My mama didn't raise no fool, right? So it's the end of the fucking world as I know it, as Chris Reed knows it, right? And I can't, these kids, I'm not doing anything, and I'm drinking. That's what I'm doing, because I know that I can walk to the store to get more alcohol. I'm not going to drive. And so I'll just drink. I guess I'll go back to how I was when I wrote my first book, and that was a bottle of gin a day, right? And I think Hemingway said, you know, you can write when you're drunk, right? Actually, right. He wrote 500 words a day, I believe. But edit sober, which makes perfect sense, right? Because I've only ever enjoyed the drunk writing part. Those of you alcoholic writers out there, you know what I'm talking about. And so, anyways, all this shit's going on. I'm drinking like a fucking fireman, okay? And I just finished like my 5th fucking screwdriver, like that much, and a highball, that much vodka and that much OJ, right? And I was buying the handles, the plastic handles, right? And I knew I had a fatty liver. I knew, fucking whatever, right? Anyways, so there I was. I just ended a so-called whatever session with one of my autistic students, profoundly autistic, and so I finished, and then phone rings. I'm like, oh yeah, hey, oh hi doctor, she was cool, right? I never saw her face because this was during COVID, right? But so she said, oh, I got some test results back about you, dude. I said, oh, what was it? Oh, you have cirrhosis. And my drink, well, I walked over to the sink, poured that big, beautiful screwdriver. I'm like, so, did you say cirrhosis, ma'am, doctor, lady, person? Did you say that? Yeah. What the fuck, dude? What are you doing? Staying home and hitting the bottle first thing in the morning, and then, yeah, that's what I've been doing, right? That's how I went from 0 to cirrhosis. No, not 0 to cirrhosis, but like 57 miles an hour to cirrhosis, which is about 97 miles an hour, in about really just like 6 months. My liver just said, okay. My liver said, okay, fuck you. You've hurt us too much. And so I quit because, drunks, we if you're like me, you can quit, right? I long periods, a year, maybe, usually like 6 months, though, 3 months, lots of those, right? So anyways, I just poured it out. Okay, and that was shocking, that was very shocking. You get that phone call, and you're just, who are you gonna hate? You're like, darn you, Seagram's Alcohol Company. Darn you, God. Darn you. No, you say thank you. Thank you, God. Because that phone call was it never since there were a real wake-up call. And so I quit. I quit for a year. And then something fairly traumatic happened to me, and at work, work-related thing, and a different school, right? Different thing altogether, different contract. And it hurt me so bad that I said, fuck it. Oh, and right then, right, I'm in California, right? Oakland, California, right? I get in this fucking horrible altercation at work, right? With a parent. Not even of one of my students, just some parent, right? Walks, I'll tell you what happens, right? No, I'm not going to tell you for legal reasons, but whatever. It's resolved now. But what it did was, so I get home, I get sent home by the principal. There I am, standing at my doorway of my apartment. And as soon as I open that fucking door, and I've just been, I'm still like that fight or flight thing, like, because I almost kicked someone's ass, it was no bueno, right? And I would have too, if that, yeah, he thought he was a brawler. Shit. Anyways, so I'm over it now. So it waste, first thing I do, I'd been sober, it was 4 months no, that was a year, I'm sorry. No. This was another time, okay, right as COVID was ending, right? And so I'd been sober for 4 months at that time, after having lapsed from the big cirrhosis one where the doctor told me I poured down the sink in the kitchen, right? So I relapse all the time, right? But keep it up, keep trying, and one day, hopefully, pray God, we won't relapse, right? Anyways, so what this is about really is COVID. COVID was just, I was already a fucking mess, spiritually, physically, every way. I was a fucking mess, and I still am, all right? But sober now. I mean, I'm not drinking alcohol, I'm not smoking anything, because I also have emphysema from smoking for 40 years, right? So, cirrhosis and emphysema, that's the name of this fucking song. Yeah. So, please, people, please, if I could, and there's so many beautiful people, sufferers of cirrhosis and other liver, illnesses, serious ones. And they're on YouTube, and they're just so fucking wonderful and so positive, even in the face of really, really very, very challenging health crises. Anyways, and they help me. They help me quit. If I feel like drinking, go watch some motherfucker like me. If you feel like you get some abstinence in you, got a week, 2 weeks, 4. It gets so much easier the longer you do this, people. It really does. And please, if you're and if you're one of these cats who's like my age, right? This middle-aged, red-faced fucking dude with the big old fucking nose, red, the cat, right? You're like, hey, friend, I think you drink too much. He's like, what are you talking about, man? I'm just a heavy drinker. Okay, whatever, dude. Right on, man. Be a heavy drinker, fuck it. And maybe you're happy that way. Maybe you're genuine. I wasn't. I was fucking miserable. So sad. And so, always on the verge of this existential angst, and fearful. I was afraid to cross the fucking street. Afraid I was going to get hit by a car. What is that? Alcohol? Thank you. What a great drug, right? Anyways, please take care of yourself, people. That's what this is about. It's about making connections, right? And having an education, whether it's you go to the library, you do it yourself, the way a lot of intellectuals I know before and now have done it. You don't have to go to ivy colored nothing. But it just, so when you see something, like Steve Martin, and when Steve Martin goes, he's an art lover, huge connoisseur of great art. He probably owns some really fabulous pieces too. Fabulous pieces, darling. And so anyways, when Steve Martin goes and he sees a painting, like abstract expressionist something, right? It's some beautiful, wonderful museum I'll never go to. Or maybe I will, one day. I hope I do. I hope I see Steve Martin there too. But when Steve looks at that painting, right, he sees I'm not going to say plethora because I hate that fucking word. Only like non-English majors use that, by the way. But he sees so much. He brings, right? We bring to the art. We bring it to the visual, to the music, to art. We bring it. But if you ain't got it, you cannot make those connections. You cannot stand in awe of technique, of content, of irony, of exaggeration, of all these subtle nuances and not so subtle ones too. So, yeah, I was so excited to learn about, like, for example, in Western Civ, how Turkey is neither completely Eastern nor is it, completely Western. And that's still an issue. That's still going on. They want to be part of the EU. Xenophobia right now? I don't think so, right? Sorry, Turkey. Anyways, see, just the way I say shit like that. What kind of egghead does that? It's an egghead who's red. Okay, I got to tell you the whole story here. I'm going to say it. Okay, so my mom had a drug problem. She also had I fucking hate noise problem. Right? And she also had a problem with me devolving into just this fucking Cheerio munching sludge at the bottom, sugar sludge at the bottom. Saturday morning cartoons, man. I lived for that. And then I lived for Christmas Eve. Those things. Saturday morning cartoons, Christmas Eve. Nothing else. I can give a didn't care. Anyway, so my mom, she told me, she gave me fair warning too. I was 12, 13? Yeah, 13. She said, Christopher. And when she ever said Christopher, I was like, oh, shit. Fucking doo-doo. No. She said, Christopher? Yeah, Mom. You're watching 1 hour of TV a day. You got it? You can pick. I don't care when it is. You want to wake up at, on a school day. You want to wake up 5 hours before. I don't care. You can get 1 hour now. And I was like, when she said that, I was like, Mom, yeah, right. Are you insane, woman? Are you insane? I would kill just to watch a fucking tampon commercial, and I'm a 13-year-old boy. Yeah, Mom, yeah, 1 hour. Right, gotcha. Well, we had 5 TVs in our trailer. One in every room, right? And so here I was in my bed, right? And I had this little portable one that I kept in blankets over. I'm trying to stay up for creatures features, right? Creature features. And so the lights are, and then so all of a sudden I'm under my blankie, right? Lights going, oh shoot. I'm in deep doo-doo. My mom comes in, right? She's on crank or meth or something like that. And she goes, give me that goddamn TV. And so I relinquished the, little handle, little TV. I relinquished it. And in her, so she's got it. In her other hand, she had, hold on, I'll show you what she had. Mom had one of these. It was wood. It wasn't red composite material handle. It was a wooden handle. And so there she is with the hammer in my TV. Boom. And I'm just like, oh, God, you know how unsafe that is? There's glass in my bed now. No, I didn't say that. I was like, no! TV! I love TV! No! Right. I was fucking lost my shit. Then she goes into the family room. So I hear this ka-perp, right? The big old TV. That's when the TVs had tubes, the big vacuum tubes and shit and big whatever. Then she goes in the kitchen, the little one that we had mounted. Smash! Right? And I wonder why I turned into an alcoholic. Thanks, Mom. Anyways, no, a lot of that was just me wanting to get fucked up. But I don't know. Who knows, man? Right? We don't know. That's why your mom should never be your therapist, as my mom was when she was getting her master's degree at JFK and Orinda, getting her master's to be a marriage and family counseling. And she would practice on me, the source of all of my torment and all the great things my mom imbued in me, she was such an amazing woman. But anyways, so Mom broke all the TVs, and she said, you know what? I said, what? She goes, I think it's gonna change you, Chris, in some very profound ways. And I said, oh, whatever, you bitch. No, I didn't say that. I thought it, though. And she was old. She was like, what, my mom was 35? I don't know, 40? Yeah, she was an old lady at 40, right? Anyways, so, and then, because my mom is my mom, and I'm going to end it here soon, don't worry, but because my mom is my mom, one day she came out of her master bedroom in our trailer, and she came out and she saw garbage bags filled with garbage from my bedroom. I cleaned my room. And so my mom, she saw that I cleaned my room in the bags of garbage, and she's like, OMG. And this was just a couple of days after not having TV. So, and then I started reading, I always loved Mad Magazine. Who doesn't? Who didn't at that time? Mad Magazine, come on. And National Lampoon, too, if I could get, this kind of like older things. There's like boobs in there and stuff, whatever. So comic books, I liked pretty good. Not this superheroes crap, but what is it called? Oh, Heavy Metal Magazine. I like that. I really, really liked that a lot. That futuristic panels of post-apocalyptic shit that we're living right now. It was right. They were right. Anyways, so my mom, this is what artists do. That's what this title of this is what artists do. My mom, she was inspired by seeing the clean bedroom, the Chris with the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, big old thick book, bored out of his mind, so he's reading Sherlock Holmes, right? And so my mom, she dashed off. She had an IBM Selectric. And that was the same Selectric that she would, if any of our neighbors got fucked over by PG&E or the other fucking evil empire people, my mom would oh, she wouldn't do that because it was electric, right? Or maybe she did have to do that. I don't know. So my mom was like, ugh. She got the ire up, right? And she always, the underdog. My mom was always for the underdog, always. And she wrote beautiful letters, long, beautiful letters that, I'll tell you what, the CEO of General Electric could read that and say, okay, all right, I'll give you a new whatever, I'll abdicate my CEO. My mom was such a brilliant writer and brilliant woman. And she never got to realize her potential because she was a woman born in 1940, and Anyways, I'm sorry, Mom. And so that's what that story's about. Is missing my mama on the 29th of December, 2025, and the connections that we make. That in education, whether it's the library or Harvard, and education, it helps us make connections that make life so much richer. When Steve Martin is staring at that, and he's really he's like puzzling over it, like, referencing other works, right? And he's bouncing ideas, connections, right? That's what it's about. If you just stand there in that museum and you look at something that some brave soul has put down on a canvas, for you perhaps, or maybe not. Who knows, right? Art, public art, private art, what is it, right? Who knows? And but if you just stare at it, you're like, oh, I don't get it, and you go to the next one. I do that in museums all the time. I like, okay, saw it, saw it, oh, that's the famous one, yeah, no arms, no legs. Okay, oh, that's I like that. Okay, oh, look at that, I saw that. Oh, look, there's too many fucking people standing around the Mona Lisa glass. I'm not gonna go fuck that. I can kind of see her. Oh, does that count? What is this? Right? So silly. This mass enjoyed profundity that is no longer profound because it's being massively consumed by a bunch of fucking hayseeds. Right there, I said it. I don't care. Anyways, the point is to not be a hayseed. The point is that the journey, the intellectual journey, the educational journey, whether you be by yourself or be with other cats of like mind, it's such a rewarding and wonderful experience. And I talk shit about academics all the time. The dudes with the fucking patches on their stupid fucking corduroy jackets. Yeah, I have one. Mine's green. Yeah, I'm a douchebag too, right? Anyways.
Knock,
All right.
knock.
Yes, babe.
Am I interrupting the video?
No.